Thank you very much, Chairman Whitfield, Ranking Member Rush, members of the committee, including my good friends from Texas. My name is Barry Smitherman. I'm the chairman of the Texas Railroad Commission. I was elected statewide last November with 74% of the vote, apparently receiving at least 2 votes from this room. The Railroad Commission of Texas was created by an amendment to the Texas Constitution in 1891, and we are the oldest regulatory body in Texas, one of the oldest in America. While we no longer regulate railroads, we have for almost 100 years regulated the oil and natural gas industries. We also regulate intrastate pipelines, surface mining for lignite, and natural gas utility rates. I'm also the former chairman of the Public Utility Commission, as you heard earlier, which regulates the electric and telecommunications industries. In that capacity, I was a member of the ERCOT Board of Directors, which is the grid operator for most of Texas. I'm honored to be the only person in Texas history to serve as commissioner on both the PUC and the Railroad Commission. I'm also the chairman of the NARUC Gas Committee, though I'm not appearing in that capacity today. Today's hearing focuses on natural gas and electric coordination challenges, and my focus in these comments will be on upstream production issues. In analyzing these 2 issues, we must keep in mind 2 significant developments. The first of which has been touched upon is that EPA, under this administration, has ramrodded through a suite of anti-fossil initiatives led by 6 new greenhouse gas rules, which effectively make it impossible to build a new coal plant in America. Texas has refused to comply with these sweeping EPA regulations, and therefore EPA has rejected our permitting authority through the first ever imposition of a Federal Implementation Plan, or FIP. The Texas Attorney General has assured me that he will challenge these greenhouse gas rules in the U.S. Supreme Court if certiorari is granted. When I last appeared before this committee, I spoke of the cross-state air pollution rule. CASPER is the successor to the Clean Air Transport Rule, and had it been implemented in early 2012, it would have caused the premature closing of several coal-fired power generation plants in Texas. Such closures would have increased the likelihood of rolling blackouts last summer and this coming summer. Fortunately, Texas and the other litigants were successful at the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia when the court vacated CASPER by concluding that the EPA had exceeded its authority. I could talk about the remaining rulemaking initiatives, but I prefer to focus on the second development, which is actually very positive, timely, and quite fortuitous. We now have abundant supplies of natural gas in America. Through horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing techniques developed by the private sector, we've seen a 180-degree turnabout from just 5 years ago. In late 2008, it was believed that we were running out of natural gas in America. And in fact, the price was very high, over $12 an MMBTU, and several firms were considering importing LNG. Today, America is awash in natural gas. And whether it's a 100-year or 200-year supply of natural gas, we have a lot of it, and Texas is leading the way. We produce almost 20 BCF of gas per day, which is about 30% of all U.S. production. The Barnett Shale, for example, has produced 12 trillion cubic feet of gas, and we believe there are 44 trillion cubic feet of gas remaining. The importance of this is that electricity prices in many parts of the country are driven by the price of natural gas. For example, in Dallas, where Chairman Emerita Barton is from, you can get electricity for less than 5 cents a kilowatt hour. 5 cents a kilowatt hour. That's 1/3 of what the price was 5 years ago, almost directly related to the cheap price of natural gas. However, I must point out that there are potential storm clouds on the horizon, whether it's potential endangered species listing, which would take prime gas-producing areas off the table, new source performance standards, new fugitive methane emissions requirements, frac water use studies, and possible restrictions on supply and disposal, overly onerous permitting requirements to fracture a well on federal land. The list goes on, and we could potentially kill the goose that lays the golden egg. In conclusion, I would say new nuclear power construction is prohibitively expensive, renewable power is variable and not yet scalable, and coal-fired power plants are under constant attack from the EPA. Natural gas is the only fuel source that makes electricity today at scale with reasonable prices to the consumer. However, let's be clear, without hydraulic fracturing, this incredible supply of natural gas disappears, and prices for both gas and electricity will skyrocket, and our economy will stop dead in its tracks again. Thank you for the opportunity.